welcome back to Exploring Whiskey. Tonight we got a dark bottle here. True Story, a new experiment from Wes Henderson.
That's right.
Angel Envy.
Yeah, that's the fun part here. So, True Story, they came out with two releases. There's a bourbon release and there's a rye release. The bourbon release is finished in moscatel and
Grape?
the port.
What's a port? Okay, yeah.
Port finish.
Grapes, yeah, for sure.
And then the rye is finished in amburana. So that's what their original releases are, but the bourbon is volume 1 and the rye is volume 2. So I think they're going to keep trying different things out while they build up their own
distillate? Okay.
To Adam's point, Wes Henderson was formerly with Angel's Envy. The Henderson family, I think his dad started it, and then he was working there. They ended up selling it. With NDAs, non-competes, and all the things that go along with selling a business where it's very specialized, they've decided to go ahead and release this. So, other fun part, his 6 sons work with him.
Oh, that's cool.
So it made it a big family thing. Very, very cool. The name, the True Story name, that comes up with, when you're hanging out and you're having a whiskey and the stories start to get maybe a little bit bigger. True story, true story.
This fish was this big.
Exactly. So that's kind of
awesome.
the idea behind the naming.
As soon as you started saying it, I was like, the amount of times I've been like, no way, true story.
The other thing Adam pointed out is the fact that, very unique bottles.
Yeah.
It is totally black.
Finish.
You cannot see this whiskey at all. The rye is the exact opposite. It's an all white bottle with black writing.
Oh, the black labels. Okay, that's
so
cool.
that's
that
kind
can
of
sit in the sunlight. It won't be damaged.
No, you'll never touch anything on that one. So thumbs up for the open. Well, we do have a nice wood. All right.
It's a cork.
Take that.
It's
it's real cork
well.
and it's real wood.
I like bottles with that lip. It always pours nice
nicely.
And neat.
Yeah, not as much. No, only like a dribble will come off.
So sourced
Kentucky
whiskey bourbon?
Kentucky bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah. They bought, and I mentioned this to Eric, something about a castle in Kentucky, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. I don't know anything about a castle in Kentucky, but apparently there's a castle in Kentucky that no one's lived at forever and ever and ever. That's what they bought. They bought this big castle, huge estate, 200 and some odd acres or something like that. That's where they're going to be building their facilities. So they're going to create event space. They're going to create a showroom, a gift shop. The whole distillery is going to be there. They have space for all the warehouses, all that kind of stuff. So they're building that out, but they wanted to start messing around. So they sourced some bourbon and some rye and started messing around. So we got 90 proof. And interestingly, $55, and then the rye is like $65. So didn't come out of the gate shooting real crazy.
Maybe it's the price of the amburana.
Yeah, maybe the wood. Rye is a little bit more expensive, but
maybe it's a little bit older. I don't know.
It's a possibility too. Definitely sweet. I can see grapey notes.
Yeah, I was gonna say some type of dark fruit, not stone fruit. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see a dark red grape.
Almost approaching raisins and.
I don't know a whole heck of a lot about muscatel. I know it's a kind of a portish wine, a fortified wine.
Yeah, definitely a dark red.
Yeah.
Grape, or black grape.
But just released just October
on the nose.
Last year. So, yeah, I like the nose. It's nice. It's sweet. It's there's nothing offensive about it that's coming off, like youthy notes or anything. It's just nice finished whiskey.
Mm-hmm. The grape is there in the front, but it's subtle. It's real subtle.
And then some rye spice coming off.
Rye spice, and then I get grain, which is almost approaching that, like a youthy note, but it's not. It's nice and smooth.
It's not sharp.
No.
But if you told me it was 4 years or three years, I would believe that.
Yeah.
On the website, it's 5 years. It's 5-year-old whiskey and then finished for 6 months in the muscatel barrel.
I mean, it's
oily.
It's viscous. It's good mouth coat.
But yeah, there's a little bit of a grainy note in there that would make me think of youth.
It hits the mid palate and then kind of carries forward
Yeah.
through the
Yep.
finish. But it doesn't dry up. I was worried
No.
about it being the
Hay
tannins
or
and the the
super
dryness.
woody or
No.
none of that.
Or I was expecting a little bit of a, I don't know. I was thinking, oh, it's going to taste like Angel's Envy.
No, does
But
not.
that's a port. That's a
That's a
is that
port finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting more rye spice on the nose now too. The second nose.
But and it's the like cracked pepper spice.
Yeah,
it's definitely the pepper. It's not herbally or that kind of thing. It's a very like peppery, spicy. One, I mean, for straight out of the gate, it's pretty solid whiskey. It's not overwhelming. It's not blowing my socks off by any means.
No.
But it's really solid whiskey. I was expecting a little bit more
More of the finish.
of the finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the parrot on the nose. It's parrot in the very beginning. It just doesn't play all the way through. The bourbon kind of pops out a little aggressively.
Almost like they did that intentionally. Like they want
It
to like
could be a little bit more of I want a hit of a finish, not a dominating finish. That's
Lower
always
proof.
an interesting balance of some people. Some people want, a honey finished whiskey to be totally sweet, like you're drinking honey syrup with a little bit of whiskey in it. And some people want whiskey with like just a little hint of a honey sweetness. So I don't know which way they were going, but
It's funny having all the amburana finishes that we went through for a while. I was going to the point of like I want a whiskey that has just a little hint of that,
a little touch, just
a little touch of it. But yeah, this is good.
I don't mind this at all. And it's so unique looking. The shape of the bottle is so different, a hexagon-ish of sorts.
I would totally pass by this on a shelf thinking like
It's so weird and
it's
unique, but
trendy or it's not even a bourbon. Or
I
whiskey.
saw, I got an email and it was specifically because it was the Henderson family. And I was just like, well, that's
because there's no
interesting.
hints on that in the front.
No. You wouldn't have known it
The
without,
front's got nothing.
right.
Finished
True story,
and
finished bourbon. That's all you're getting. It's very plain Jane in the front. Who doesn't show off their whiskey? I find that so unique.
Yeah.
Every bottle is glass, so you can see what's in it, and you want to see if it's dark or if it, oh, that's really light. I don't even want to buy that. Like it's only aged 2 years
I
or
wonder
something.
because it's not that dark,
It's not,
especially for a finished product. But
right.
no, I think they want it for a polarizing look.
I-
and you're gonna go.
It's unique.
Oh,
It's
what is
different.
that?
But the Angel's Envy bottle was also very unique.
Yeah.
That shape is very weird.
Taller
and
than the rest of the
yeah,
bottles we're
right.
looking at. Yeah.
And it's bigger and then kind of comes down,
kinda-
so the wings kind of like look like that. So they're into unique design.
Yeah.
No idea.
See if that finish comes off a little bit
That's
more.
I'm kind of hoping that the wine pops just a touch more.
Yep.
Adds a touch more sweetness. I think that's the biggest lacking. It's not quite the sweetness that I was expecting for a wine finish.
I'd like a little bit more of that rye spice to pop. Get some other things, maybe some baking spice or some cinnamon or some allspice. Let's see.
I'm just thinking like Angel's Envy's like that's so sweet. That's a very sweet finished bourbon.
And it's a high rye mash bill, I think.
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe that's right.
Probably likes that profile.
Grape.
Really got muted. Yeah, grape is just kicking me now.
That's,
There's that cinnamon. I think I got a little cinnamon.
well, that's a better palate. There is a little cinnamon. It's almost
Oh,
like
yeah.
oatmeal with like cinnamon, brown sugar, and raisins. But that's even like, it doesn't even come off as grainy.
No, I was going to say that grainy, slight younger note is
Yeah,
kind of,
that's
it
gone.
really mellowed out.
Little, not quite as much pepper note, more baking spices.
Yeah.
Still spicy, but
The pepper really lightened up.
that's much
nice.
better. I like that way better with water. The nose kind of disappears, but the palate's significantly better. So
And for those of you who don't add a little bit of water every once in a while, try it. It's crazy. It's really remarkable what a little bit of water will do. Rather than thinking it's going to make it watered down.
it does
It
not.
opens up.
There's science behind that. Something about the fat esters and the it mixes with the water. It doesn't play with water, so it bounces it up and
Yep, it
it makes
raises
it
up.
way more apparent. And it also breaks something else. Glycosol. I don't remember. There's a lot of science behind all that I'm not a science person.
We'll call Dr. Bill and
Yes,
see if
I'm sure he would know exactly. He'd be able to pontificate. All right, that's starting to open up a little bit on the nose. But the
First
palate,
shot, this is not bad. This is not bad whiskey.
right?
What's the price point on this guy?
55.
55.
The rye is a little bit more expensive, 60,
Oh, that's
65.
right. You mentioned that. Yeah. $10. That's
Um,
not bad though.
It's not bad. So, think about like the people that have come out like shooting Ingram, O.H. Ingram, $80 for their first release,
Yep.
and then like things like that. Like they come out at 55. That's not bad.
A lot of people love Angel's Envy. He could have sold his name and yeah, but he's not doing that. You can tell. That's really cool.
Yeah,
He could have sold his name and the fact that he was involved in Angel's Envy and made at least $80 a bottle off this. At
Yes.
least.
Right. He could have leveraged it way more if it was Henderson's bourbon or
Henderson's
something.
True Story or
Yeah.
Interesting to see what they're going to come out with. What's volume 3, 4?
Yeah, right. Different
wood,
finishes,
different
do
wood,
they start blending rye and bourbon and do a boo rye finish in something, or
They do some staves.
it puts a lot of things out there as possibilities. I like
Yeah.
that idea. And you can't get locked down into a flavor profile since you're sourcing and you're building up your distillate. So you kind of have to do that. At some point, I assume they'll have to like lock down. Okay, this is now our normal bourbon release, and this is our normal rye release.
Yeah.
Once their distillate has aged up.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it makes sense.
that's my guess.
Not a bad.
No,
Not a bad.
not
first
bad.
Run from,
I'm gonna say 5.8, 5.9, maybe. I don't think it quite breaks a 6 for me. It's above average. It's just not like, there's still a few things that aren't quite right.
Yeah, I'll say a 5.5. Yeah. Right up that first sip I was like, oh no, this is crafty. Oh no, it's not. It's smoothed out in the end, and you get some more of the finish. But yeah, it's good first start.
It'll be interesting to see if that opens up, like more grapey notes start to come out now that it's open. It's a possibility. All right,
so that's like a thumb and a half, I guess.
Yeah, it's still above average, and it's a decent price. It's a fun little experiment, and if you want to support somebody who's trying to come out with a brand new line of whiskeys, support them.
Yeah, if you're a Finnish fan. Yeah,
if you're a Finnish fan, because they're going to keep doing it. So they're the right people to support if you like finished whiskeys. If you like whiskey content like this, reviewing whiskeys, making cocktails, and whatever, talking about general whiskey stuff, we would love the support. We continue to try to grow this channel. So if you could like this episode, that helps get it shared across YouTube and helps us keep growing. Yeah, first time of Stella upon us, give us a subscribe, and you never know what we're going to do. Like you said, cocktails, whiskeys from all over the place, not just bourbons. We love it all. We do it all. We explore all of it. Yeah, and we're honest. Yeah, we're honest
to
sometimes.
Our palates, to our palates. That's a very good point too, because we will say that, and sometimes we're not on the same page. No. More often than not, but. What you said before, we're usually on the same road, but in different lanes. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, we're definitely usually on the same highway, sometimes different lanes. That's it. So, anyway, well, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Cheers. Cheers.